Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the right side is the Yellow Knights Templar, got El.loueMT. Spawn on the left side is the Blue French, we got VortiX. And we got a villager charging by 40. He's going to go for a... I see wood being collected. Looks like he's going to go for a barracks opener. Wait. A dock opener. He did delete one shore fish. But there is a decent number of shore fish there. I wonder if oh wait, you can always garrison inside the dock. You can, that's how you get around the dock, by going not around it, but through it. But we do have a docks opener. That I was not expecting. That's Templar. If he's aggressive, he can probably capitalize and punch us pretty hard, severely. Lots of useful age-up paths for the Knights Templar. Well, anything would do. Anything with torches. Even scouts can easily punch this. Good number of sheep there. He is aging up to the Kingdom of France, which give a gold discount for all units and make all units trained a little bit faster. It will also unlock the Chevalier, a heavy cavalry that's more closer to sofas. A lighter heavy cavalry, but it is still classified as heavy, which means it does receive bonus damage from crossbowmen. Yellow is trying to herd the deer towards the town center, but looks like overall he's herding towards the mining pit. I think he's just trying to get them now just to a pile. Herd them to a pile. That one scouted a little bit far. And I think that's pretty good. Oh, no, that one went pretty bad. He could probably put the mill here or here. Can't say exactly what would be best. Got the school of cavalry down being blown out by the French. And scaring some more of the deer. We do have now some spearmen people on field, and they're immediately going to be torching down this dock. Bro, shipyard. Wait, what? Did the French always had a unique dock effect? I never knew. That's not how little I know I've seen docks by the French. I never knew the French get plus 10 population from docks. Okay, that makes it far more tolerable than expected. I don't remember this whatsoever. And maybe there's not a sort of visible thing here beforehand. Oh, that's me forgetting something. But then again, a lot of people don't like water. Got an aeroship here. Aeroships are very, very good versus ground units. Of course, he did put on this side of the dock, which means he can't push the airship up over here. However, there's only one shore fish. Should be safe enough. Don't think anything go up the waterfalls. If there's anything they could do, maybe they can increase the movement speed of the waterfall effect. It's too slow. Gravity is fast. Local doggo demands head pats, or the stick that he's carrying. Those are trying to shank the spearman there. He does not have textiles research just yet. I think, yep, we got professional scouts now in the build queue for blue, so he will be on to pick up some of that delicious venison on the map. Yellow does find delicious sheeple. Good number of spearmen there. Dock is not getting repaired on up. Gone for 5 fishing boats. I do not know what will be an adequate number of fishing boats, but I think 5, maybe a little bit too much. I could be mistaken though. And it is quite a bit of investment. Each shorefish does provide 500 food. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it was a 4th one. 5. It's a decent amount of food, but yep. Oh yeah, they nerfed professional scouts, so now scouts a bit more slowly. Rather than galloping back, they just not even trot back. They just walk back there with the delicious cargo. Have I seen professionals? Oh, there goes the scout. Have I seen professional scouts research since the expansion? I can't remember. Sheeple also gets impaled. I also believe that the scouts should pick up sheep carcasses, but I don't think they can. You can see here, I must have yellow selected. We do not have the Chevalier Confrere, or however you pronounce that. Full on the field, 2-2 armor, 160 health, regular heavy cavalry horseman speed, 14 melee damage, and of course 21 lance. Royal Knight is far superior to that Chevalier, but of course there's a good number of spearmans ready to impale the Royal Knight. And due to the lower armor rating of the Chevalier, means archers can be decent and putting some rounds on, putting some holes into it. There we go. Oh, looks like he did an automatic Q order. The arrow ship needs to move out of the way. Q up over there. There we go. Do now have the wheelbarrow and +1 range damage now queued on up. He does have the, of course, the free +1 melee damage. Oh, and there's a pilgrim. I wonder if this airship will provide coverage against pilgrims. I don't know. Got a good number of spearmen deployed on the field. The French players, of course, going a good number of archers, while the Knights Templar is going for a good number of the Chevaliers. I think blue should mix in some spearmen. After all, spearmen will be equal to the spearmen and be very effective for the Chevaliers. They will be a safe option to deploy on in at the moment. You don't need to get too many, just a small number. It also gives your archers more breathing room and allows your Royal Knights to have, of course, more maneuver around area to maneuver since the spearmen engage the spearmen. Of course, barracks at this point in time are relatively expensive. Has some of the venison been picked on up? Maybe. Chevalier being pursued by these Royal Knights. I think only one Royal Knight is needed to chase it. Royal Knight does get picked off there. And the deer deposit back here has been cleaned on up by the professional scouts. More venison being obtained. We do now have the Chevaliers being pursued by a single Royal Knight. Scout almost goes down. I don't know how many... What was that pathing? Sorry, I don't know how many Chevaliers is needed to take on the Royal Knight. And especially when they're in wounded state. Only one Pilgrim's on the field at the moment. This Chevalier has taken some damage. Local doggo demands head pats. More spearmen being pulled in the field, going for the Chevaliers and Spearmen. I think Yellow has plenty of army to defend with. Spearmen could just generally move forward while the Chevaliers try to maneuver to engage his archers. There's a good number of Chevaliers. I think he should be able to deal with the Royal Knights as well. Chevaliers getting some great damage on in. Great stutter step forward. Most of the Royal Knights are going down. No spearmen to cover the retreat of the Royal Knights. An overall pretty massive win there by Yellow. You do have some Chevaliers and Spearmen engaging villagers. Does lose a Chevalier. Royal Knights get picked off there. Chevaliers are getting quite wounded. Of course, I don't think he has access to any healing this age. But he could either just pull back the severely wounded ones, keep them to the next stage until a monk can heal them up. But that would be quite a bit of momentum lost. But they don't necessarily provide massive momentum anymore. We do have a barracks now being deployed on the field. More pilgrims advancing. $116 gold there. Level 2 pilgrims was queued up and cancelled. Not like he's aging up anytime soon. Scout is down. Got venison up here, but looks like yellow's actually actively claiming the venison. Scout does go down there. Good number of Chevaliers now push way forward. There's still a very good number of wounded ones there. We do now have the guild hall being established and the Agoniv Empire. Agoniv Empire gives heavy spearmen, right? Also, I wanted to take a look what it provides. Fortress and Doxia plus 30% health. Nothing too significant, honestly. Fortresses like castles and keeps tend to be either alive or dead, never really in between, but does occasionally be useful. Got a number of spearmen supported for blue, but I don't think blue's army is enough at the moment, though yellow's army is quite wounded. Agoniv Empire now pull on the field. I'm pretty sure that's a heavy spearman. Yes, it is heavy spearman. He's also going for veteran spearman. Only has 9 of them on the field. Chevaliers get a good volley there, or good charge attack there. French archers now advancing. Both players advance the next age. Knights backing off. Chevaliers advancing. Got the town center here. Villagers turning up the hill. This gold deposit has 13 gold remaining. Chevaliers have now received their veterancy upgrade, so it gets +1/+1 armor, so they'll have 3/3, or in this case 3/4. Villagers heading up that gold deposit because this one is tapped. You can send one villager to collect the last little bit of pebbles. Royal Knights do take a little bit of damage there. Try to charge into the villagers unsuccessfully. Chevaliers getting some free damage. And looks like the fishing boats are down to the last fish deposit. Aeroship, of course, does right now have 7 damage. Aeroships are benefited from the arrow upgrade, which actually is very important there. This actually makes aeroships incredibly powerful in Age 2, and decently useful as well in Sword Age 3. Villager does get impaled there. We got a lot of right clicks being summoned because you hear the repeated sound effect sound. Seven villagers there. Down south, we do have the spearman trying to make another swipe there. Blue does have picking up the relics. This map is called Relic River, so there's relics in the middle of the map. Blue has picked up one. Yellow has not picked up any. Chevaliers advancing. We do have a good number of heavy spearmen deployed on the field. I think heavy spearmen are incredibly powerful for what they do. Though right now, with the heavy spearmen, the heavy cavalry, Arbaletier is probably particularly useful for the French at the moment. He is going for more archers. Heavy spearmen also do have the same armor rating as man-at-arms, so they are very arrow resilient in this age. Scout is down, not big surprise. These Royal Knights need to fall back. There's currently 8 Royal Knights in the field, and I see all 8 in front of me. Spearmen heading up north. Good number of archers and spearmen engaging. Of course, archers will have trouble punching through the armor, but it's a little bit easier since they have 1 less armor. They do have a little bit of a horde health benefit. These 17 units, every nearby Chevalier provides each other +1 maximum health. Nothing too significant, but in this case, it would allow him to resist, what, 4 more arrows, potentially? And also probably another crossbow bolt as well, maybe 2. It all depends how the health is divvied up. Chevaliers do take a pretty good arrow volley, does lose 1 of them. Knights or the Chevaliers heading up north. Mill now being built. We do have now the monk going on down. And that villager goes down as well. He does only had help. There's a couple more villagers over there. Blue has some Royal Knights in the back line. Good number of heavy spearmen, regular spearmen, and chevaliers. There. Maganel deployed in the field. Very nice. Which he knows is one big counter right now he has to his composition is Arbaletiers. And so Maganel will help engage with against that counter, but he is not deployed that counter out on the field. But Blue now sees the heavy spearmen. Now he knows the necessity of Arbaletiers. Yellow's now establishing a fortress on the field on this side of the river, which, if possible, squeezing out this side of the river could be a little bit better, but it's probably pretty easy to use trebuchets from this low ground. Right now, trebuchets may be a range at the edge. Hard for me to tell. Actuality, in order to prevent the trebuchets from besieging, he's trying to get the gold spots secure, but I think he should have put it more up here. Maganels rolls a miss there. Loose villagers migrating up north of the stone deposit. That's not a good thing at this moment. Royal Knights engages of various units. Takes out a monk, takes out a villager. Second villager go down. Heavy spearman now retaliating. And Maganel does get a bit of damage there. Trying to go for a wall there. Takes the spring gold. He probably won't get the Maganel. As those villagers do back on off, they're heading down to a wood deposit. Some spearmen's here, they're right now being just home wreckers. Another fortress up here. Passing the pilgrims up here would generate more gold, and you don't really care about obstruction of the map because these pilgrims get spawned every 60 seconds. That's why I always say I don't care how far the distance or how if they reach the end destination every 6 seconds, he gets like 120 gold per pilgrim. Personally, I don't really like the fact that pilgrims come like in these onesie twosies. If I were to change pilgrims a little bit, I think pilgrims also need a little bit of a nerf. It appears to be very powerful overall. It's effectively, this one's what, 4 additional villagers? Each number of pilgrims right now is going to 4 villagers. If I were to change the pilgrims a little bit, I would probably reduce. I also don't like the fact that it goes in ones and twos, so more than that fact. I would reduce the pilgrim's health down to 25 health. reduce the effect gold dropped off by reduce it by 75%, and rather than spawning in ones, they spawn in groups of 3. So it's like actual pilgrimage of a group of people for you to kill off. And also make sure that also have pilgrims are affected by textiles. That way, overall, the total health will increase compared to what it is right now, but also makes it so the total value received is decreased. That's how I would adjust them. But right now we do have level 2 pilgrims being researched, so soon you have 4 pilgrims every 60 seconds, which is effectively 16 villagers on gold of infinite supply, assuming you can maintain field control. And since it's free and the constant respawning, it's not like, say, the Mongols' Silver Tree, you don't have to babysit it as much. Aeroship gains some decent damage there at 8 damage with a burst of 5 arrows. So able to punch through even the higher armor. This fortress here is in a good position, covers the sacred site there. And looks like it's already gotten the increased gold income as well. This one, it looks like the aura effect is affecting the pilgrims, so should be able to reach out there. Very nice. Doc taking some damage now. Fortress now being built, another one. Against Templar, you can't really be passive. You have to be aggressive and deny those pilgrims. That's the primary economic advantage. They also do have improved lumberjacks. Greatly improved lumberjacks. But the long-term value is, of course, the pilgrims. Villagers can hit pretty hard there. We do have the red palace deployed in the field, so the Arbalists are ripping apart these wounded chevaliers. And all those chevaliers goes down to the Arbalists emplacement. We decapturing the southern sacred site, but need to start threatening the other ones. The red palace is right here, so this will lock down this advance. Now the Kingdom Poland. I don't think I've seen Kingdom Poland aged up yet. All cavalry gets plus 10% health and 50% charge damage. So I'm wondering what special cavalry Poland will provide, because I'm assuming it's providing some sort of form of cavalry. I've mostly seen Venetians, and really just Venetians, haven't we? Got another fortress being established there, so he'll be soon up to 6 pilgrims. Six pilgrims, of course, will get him 24 villager on gold income. Though he does also have the improved drop-off as well, so increase the drop-off by 20%, so it's probably getting closer to 30 at this moment in time. Trebuchet emplacements can easily siege down this keep as well. Kingdom of Poland. What cavalry are you able to summon? We do have the Slasha Cavalry. I butchered that name well enough. Expensive cavalry, 180, 114. Remember, that's cost reduction from the French. Slow attack speed when attacking. Heavy armor, strong versus light infantry, countered by spearmen and crossbowmen. So is it light melee infantry or just light infantry in general? And I'm assuming it's classified as heavy cav. Yeah, heavy armor. Let's see, we got some of them now. They're already in peel age, so we don't have to worry about leveling up or anything of that sort. Let's see now. Has 74 damage lance attack. Holy crap. Plus 8 versus light, and has a very high damage attack, and same attack speed as regular heavy cavalry. So they do hit like a truck. They also are pretty healthy right now. We got the mini Hui Hui Pow now firing away. Looks like Yellow wants to play Mountain Blade Banner Lord with trebuchets on top of walls. We got a Royal Cannon now deployed on the field. And we start putting holes in these these forces. However, they do have Iron Clamps, reducing gunpowder damage by 20%. So maybe we gotta go for trebuchets. Never really compared the DPS of trebuchet to a cannon, especially when it has 20% damage resistance. I wonder if you try and counter barrage the cannon. Does splash the cannon a little bit there, but nothing too significant. This is not Age of Empires 2. And like I said beforehand, this does do bonus damage versus all light infantry. So that means it will be effective against spearmen, crossbowmen, and archers. The armor, they have absurdly high range armor and very little melee armor. So spearmen will still be effective versus them, probably still cost effective as well. Yellow's fortress now receiving some repairs. But the extra armor is very important, extra range armor. Arbalest placement does take out the heavy cavalry. And we also have a severe number of elite spearmen. We got some orbital tiers not being queued on up with the French player. A little bit late, but let's go for it either way. Fanaticism not being researched. Templar brothers, commanderies, and commandery units gain plus 10% damage from below 50% health. And the fortress has gone down. And I'm about to sneeze. Fortress being established there. Archership needs to get closer. Yep. This archership is still being very, very useful. It does get a range of it now. Archers push forward. Gold being obtained. Archers backing on off. Large number of heavy spearmen there. They have 8 melee or range armor and melee armor. Archers right now have 9 damage, so doing 1 damage per arrow against these heavy spearmen. Got now incendiary arrows, which will help them out, as well as crossbow turrets. Algonator not to go for elite archers. It's not going to make good use of it. Though it's approaching pop cap, so it could be warranted. Does put some holes in that palisade wall. Royal cannons push way forward. Oh, they're not royal cannons, just regular cannons. Good shot there. 6-side victory is being queued on up. Another trebuchet in placement. Good damage around the trebuchet. We do now have that ship going down to the Hui Pow emplacement. Villagers idle up here. Not too much gold left on some of these deposits. There's a decent amount of gold right there and there, so definitely need to get those. We do have now a decent number of Arbalists now pulled on the field. And the keep has gone down. We still got a single Arbalest emplacement with this town center. Right now, the Knights Templar is at 7 Pilgrims, which is a significant amount of gold income. With the plus 20% increase, it's probably close to 30, maybe 34. Howdy. Sorry, I just saw your YouTube comment. Spearmen push way forward, bit of brace there onto the heavy cavalry. That's I have no idea how to pronounce that. The Polish cavalry. Cannons push way forward, there's a good volley there, takes out one of the trebuchets. Arbiteers push way forward. Oh! I love how they sped up the animations. Now the Arbiteers have a different animation. Though they have crossbow stirrups research, which should be the pull down animation, guess not. I love how this expansion adjusted the crossbowman animations. Because now you can see it, and plus now these guys do some sort of hand crank while not put on the ground. Even though the research crossbow stirrups would suggest that it be put down his feet. And then use that to yank it up and all that sort. By the way, Arbiteers do have a different animation than regular crossbowmen now. Or maybe been always different, just that it's sped up so now it can actually be viewed. Spearmen push way forward, the Polish cavalry getting ripped apart by the spearmen. He's a number of French horsemen advancing. He does not have royal bloodlines just yet, so nothing particularly special about them at the moment. Ooh, one of those trebuchets took a decent amount of damage. Not trebuchets, royal cannons. Oh, actually click on the counterweight trebuchet. You actually can click on it if you click on just right. Royal cannon does go down. Horseman now advancing. The armor attack is now being researched by the Knights Templar. And looks like Yellow does manage to punch through all the heavy units with his anti-heavy units. Who would have thought that anti-heavy units would be good against heavy units? And some of these villagers are getting gunned down as well. Of course, he has to back up from the fortress. There's way too much here. This fortress taking a bit of damage there. Royal cannons now engaging the fortress. Not royal cannons, just cannons. I am curious about the guild hall though. I'm going to click on it. Currently collecting up gold. Does have nearly 1,000 in the bank. One force is going on down. All that blue really needs to do as well is push forward, engage, and intercept the pilgrims. Of course, the southern sacred site is still a possibility. This wave of pilgrims looks like it's going to be run down. The dancer and the cannon. Fortress about to go on down. We got the horsemen advance way forward. Number of villagers there. Got some heavy spearmen in intercept. There's a fortress back there to help let a bit of a keep for his villagers. Some of those villagers getting hit there. Some gets in the capital. Heavy spearmen engaging. Some villagers are exposed up here, which may go down. More horsemen push forward. Blue is able to break and contain, and now able to smash, hit multiple of these siege weapons. Yellow has a large number of siege weapons in the field. Going for another fortress as well. Villagers going down there. Right now, yellow's down to 68 villagers. And the pilgrims heading down south. Right now, they're not sure that's the right gold deposit because this is a wounded pilgrim. But right now, they're going to drop off 120 with a 20% increase. So it's probably close to like 140 gold. $142. And does have 5 fortresses, so 7 pilgrims, each providing 140 gold, which is effectively 4 villagers. So still has a very good amount of gold income there. Ooh, good number of arbiteers went down. Does throw out some scouts. Some of those arbiteers do take some damage, but nowhere near to actually be killed off. When the royal cannons do go down, get barraged by the master trebuchet. Trebuchets being taken out by the royal cannons, maybe vice versa as well. Arbiteers now push forward, ripping apart these heavy spearmen. Royal cannons push forward. Takes out whatever siege weapon that was. I don't think it was a trebuchet. I think it was a spring bolt. More heavy spearmen being deployed in the field. Horsemen trying to engage. At this point in time, regular spearmen probably be a better choice than heavy spearmen. Though he doesn't have a whole lot of food nor wood to support either. He's going for elite spearmen and veteran horseman research. The French horseman charging forward does engage the Maganel. Elite, okay, that was elite heavy spearmen, not the elite spearmen, or maybe I'm getting the two mixed up. I think I'm just getting the two mixed up. I think he would have gone for elite heavy spearmen a long time ago. More horsemen pushing forward. Fortress does take a shot there. Mangonels, or not Mangonels, trebuchets get a volley onto the cannon. Horsemen heading down south. Got some pilgrims here. Oh, wow, that spam bot is really broken now, which I'm perfectly fine with. Wait. There's an opening there. I wasn't not paying attention. I was tipping into the spam belt, and all of a sudden, I was like, wait, how did the horseman get across the gate? There is an opening right there. Right behind the tower. I did not realize that, nor did I think yellow did. Spearmen push way forward. Many of these siege weapons going down. It's not look good for yellow. Pilgrims have been accepted, but another round of pilgrims push way forward. Arbiteers being deployed in the field. More horsemen. Got some forward outposts there, just probably for a bit of spotting. Ken does take a shot there. Fortress under fire and on fire. Horsemen trying to sneak around now to the villager farming line. Got a decent number of defensive fortresses here. He's still able to utilize the gold income from the pilgrims because they have the third sacred site. Mangonels push way forward. Horsemen advancing. Good number of spearmen. Heavy spearmen there. Try the horsemen push way forward. While crossbow not necessarily a good counter to horsemen, they do at least hit hard to punch the armor reasonably. Magnol does go down there. Horseman trying to find another opportunity against these trebuchets. Trebuchet does go down there. More horsemen advancing. We may want to start eyeing for a trade route, because right now she's probably running a little bit low on gold. No, actually, plenty of gold in the bank. The guild hall is probably easily stored. I want to click on the guild hall. 500 in the bank, so he has withdrawn from the guild hall recently. Horseman trying to find another fleet to engage, but right now there's just a good number of heavy spearmen on the field. Looks like yellow may break the contain that blue is set on up. Nope, looks like yellow is going to withdraw. This force is at nearly full health, has over 10,000 health possible. Jeez. I didn't realize how much health we get, plus 20% damage resistance, so it's effectively 12,000 health versus gunpowder. Fortress has gone down. Destroyed 5 out of 10 landmarks, like if he was fighting against the Chinese. Well, in this case, it's higher than the Chinese can deploy on the field. And yellow does back the game now. This Angry saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.